You are looking live at the Valley of the Sun, Phoenix, Arizona, for Saturday night's main event. We are live tonight from the Phoenix Arena, 2 weeks out from our trip to Glasgow, Scotland for Clash at the Castle. And tonight, major Clash at the Castle implications in your main event. It is a triple threat matchup featuring the Second City Saint, CM Punk, the Apex Predator Randy Orton, and the Ring General Gunther. The winner is on their way to meet Bron Breakker for the WWE Championship 2 weeks from tonight in Glasgow. Also tonight here in Phoenix, the Women's Tag Team Championship is on the line. Tiffany, Stratton, and Nia Jax have had the number of Bianca, Belair, and Jade, Cargill in singles action, but can they get it done when the tag team titles are on the line? We are going to find out right here tonight, live from Phoenix. But we are kicking things off with a rematch, courtesy of Thursday Night SmackDown. Tensions rising between these two superstars, and it brings them to the Valley here tonight.
The following is scheduled for one fall, making his way to the ring from Gomez Palacio, Durango, Mexico, weighing in at 230 pounds, Andrade!
Well, it was back in March on SmackDown that Austin Theory was targeting the United States Championship. He was signed for a matchup against LA Knight. Andrade ended up costing Theory that matchup after he felt disrespected by Theory earlier that evening. It eventually led to a matchup 2 weeks later on SmackDown. Andrade one-on-one with Austin Theory. Austin Theory starting to feel the pressure, realizing that Alidolo had brung his A-game. There you see the exposed steel underneath the turnbuckle. Austin Theory using it to his advantage. Andrade sends Sternum first right into the steel, follow that up with an 8-town down. Austin Theory stealing away victory for the man who cost him a shot at the United States Championship. Well, Andrade felt disrespected, and now after he was screwed out of victory a couple of weeks ago, now more than ever, he's got a vendetta against this man. And let us not forget the backstage brawl 2 weeks ago on SmackDown. Andrade and Austin Theory coming to blows behind closed doors, but now the fight comes to the other side of the curtain here in the Valley of the Sun.
And his opponent from Atlanta, Georgia, weighing in at 220 pounds, Austin Theory!
Well, Austin Theory tried to brush off Andrade the night of his United States Championship match against LA Knight. Andrade was seemingly telling Theory that no matter who left with the United States title, he was coming for the gold. Theory really blowing off Andrade, telling him to go to the back of the line and let the big superstars, the big-time players, handle their big-time decisions. Well, those wise words, or maybe not so wise words, from Austin Theory is what gotten him into this trouble over the last few weeks with Andrade on SmackDown. Andrade not taking kindly to the way Austin Theory went about their matchup, and it all leads us to kicking things off right here tonight at Saturday night's main event. Well, it's going to be a great night of action here in Phoenix, Arizona. We thank you for joining us on your Saturday night, just 2 weeks out from our trip to Glasgow, Scotland, at the OVO Hydro Arena for Clash at the Castle. Big-time main event to determine Bron Breakker's WWE Championship challenger for that night in Glasgow. But all eyes of the world are on Andrade and Austin Theory as they are set to kick things off here at Saturday night's main event. Again, this matchup courtesy of Thursday Night SmackDown. It is the rematch from several weeks ago. Theory's up one against Andrade. Andrade looking to settle the score here in a sold-out Phoenix Arena. Austin Theory felt firsthand the pressure that Alidolo was bringing to the table. Andrade really showing Austin Theory just how seriously he took that disrespect. Now Andrade trying to get that victory back. Beautiful standing moonsault over Austin Theory. Austin Theory, as we mentioned, he's felt Andrade firsthand. He realizes that Andrade is taking this situation very, very seriously. Theory better not underestimate Andrade tonight. On the same accord, Andrade's got to look out for those underhanded tactics that Theory clearly has no problem employing. Corkscrew plancha over the top rope by Alidolo. The Lucha Libre superstar certainly not afraid to leave the soles of his boots. Austin Theory knows by hook or by crook he can get the job done, but Alidolo not looking to allow it. Back inside the ring goes Theory. Springboard, crossbody by Andrade, directly into the lateral press. Not enough to get the 3 count, but incredibly impressive by Andrade here tonight at Saturday night's main event. Theory creating a little distance. I'm sure Austin Theory is looking for this matchup to be a stepping stone on his way back to challenging for the United States Championship, the same United States title that'll be on the line later tonight here in Phoenix as the megastar himself, LA Knight, defends the gold against a man who's been headhunting him on SmackDown, that being Gallus representative Joe Coffey. That is coming up later tonight here in Phoenix. Right now, Austin Theory taking his eye off the ball, a little bit overconfident. Andrade gonna make him pay with the sit-out powerbomb. Both of these men so ever agile, but also so impressive in terms of strength. 2 incredible athletes of the SmackDown roster, both looking to take the next step in a singles championship gold. Certainly a victory tonight can move both of these men 1 step closer. Andrade! We're going to talk about the disrespect that Theory has shown Andrade while Alidolo dishing it right back to him. And I think at this point, after the situation has continued to develop over the last month or so on SmackDown, we'd expect nothing less. Remember that backstage brawl just a few weeks ago between these 2 superstars the night this matchup was announced for Saturday night's main event. I don't know who started the fight, but it was Andrade that finished it when he put Austin Theory through a table in the backstage area. Austin Theory, looking for that not to be the result here, creates a little bit of distance, and there's that agility that we talked about over a young man who has already seen so much success over the last 3 years of his main roster career here in WWE. He may have Andrade beaten here, not just yet. Austin Theory, go back to March of 2022, arrived on the main roster for the very first time. Over the last few years, this man has become a King of the Ring winner, Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic winner, WWE Tag Team Champion as well. And although it was a short reign, Austin Theory holding the WWE Championship for just about a month, in less than a year, on the main roster. Theory, although has had bumps in the road, has not always wrestled to perfection inside of that ring. He's a young man who shows a lot of promise and has already achieved a lot here in WWE. Some things that many superstars only dream about. Sometimes many people say that Austin Theory's own confidence can get in his way, sometimes overconfident and overcommits. That time he got all of what he wanted. No overcommitment that time. That dropkick landed right on the button. Austin Theory, no stranger to the game. He has been in the ring with a lot of veterans over the last few years. He has beaten a lot of veterans. Andrade certainly one of those superstars, and by hook or by crook, he has proven that he can beat Andrade. Powerbomb of his own by Theory that time. Austin Theory, as we talked about, incredibly agile, but also incredibly impressive in terms of the power game, and he may just have that slight advantage over Andrade here tonight. Andrade started out this matchup very fast-paced, just as he likes it, that Lucha Libre style, but Theory starting to slow down the pace and wrestle how he wants to perform. Alidolo dropped right on the knee. This one could be over. Not just yet. Andrade getting the shoulder up right at the 11th hour. But Austin Theory, this is where he cannot get frustrated. This is where he needs to channel that frustration and continue to attack. Theory had to rely on an exposed turnbuckle to get the job done. The last time these 2 men met inside of that ring, Austin Theory could certainly make a statement tonight if he can get the job done without any underhanded tactics. Oh, look at that. Took one too many pauses that time. The hesitation allowed Andrade to rest and recoup and become aware of his surroundings. Reversal there by Alidolo, and Andrade goes flying. I should say Austin Theory goes flying over the top. Andrade now scaling the ropes. Alidolo, that Lucha Libre background, live from Phoenix, is looking to take flight. What a meteor from the heavens. Incredible maneuver by Andrade. From the top to the outside. El Idolo certainly realizing that it's time to push the pace, spinning back elbow. Theory may be out cold. Massive combination of maneuvers, but Austin Theory just having that proverbial salt under the nose and waking up just in time. Incredible offense by Andrade. The Meteor off the top to the outside, the spinning back elbow, but unfortunately for El Idolo, Austin Theory still has a pulse. Another combination of maneuvers. Andrade just looking to keep his foot on the gas pedal here to Capacity Phoenix Arena. Andrade on top again. Corkscrew moonsault. Incredible. Oh, and you had to believe that was it. I could have swore the referee's hand was coming down for a 3, but Austin Theory beating the count. You gotta give the devil his due. Austin Theory may be young, he may be smug, he may be egotistical, but at the end of the day, the kid is tough. And now, small package here. Oh, he may be able to steal the victory right out from underneath Andrade's nose, but Andrade able to pop the shoulder out of that submission, or I should say out of that pinfall. Theory now starting to unload. That corkscrew from the top by Andrade might have just woken up Theory, realized it's now or never. Theory, with his eyes locked on a dazed Andrade, suicide dive. Theory showing that if he needs to take flight in order to ensure victory, he will do just that. And what a great matchup to kick things off live tonight from Saturday night's main event from Phoenix, Arizona. Pump kick by Theory. Theory got himself in this own mess when he brushed off a challenge from Andrade. For all we know, Theory could be United States champion today if it weren't for El Idolo. Now this situation has dwelled into now their second contest over the last month. It has certainly been an enjoyable one, kicking things off tonight. Andrade, just when you thought he had this matchup flipped on its head. Austin Theory seeing some daylight on the middle rope again. Theory going for the drop kick that landed earlier, but you saw Andrade had it scouted. The slight step. It gets out of the way, and that was springboard head scissors takedown. Theory going to the well one too many times with that drop kick, and it did not pay him dividends. Andrade once again slapped right across the bush. El Idolo might have found a window of opportunity. It's got Andrade locked for the DDT. A mistake by Theory ends up costing him, and Andrade scores a huge win here in Phoenix.
Here is your winner,
Well, Austin Theory made his bed. He disrespected Andrade, then cheated him out of victory. You had to believe El Idolo was coming into this match tonight with a fire in his belly, and boy did he ever perform. A great matchup to kick things off here at Saturday night's main event. What a win by El Idolo! After the dust has settled at Backlash, the road only gets rougher. The journey takes us across the sea to a land of warriors, a country of legends. This is Scotland, the heart of the Highlands, and live from the OVO Hydro Arena in Glasgow, WWE brings the fight to the proud and passionate fans of the North. In a place where every echo feels like thunder, and every battle feels like war. Titles will be defended, scores will be settled, and history will be written in stone. The stars are coming, the stakes are rising, and when the clash begins, only the strong will survive. Live from the pride of Scotland, this is Clash at the Castle. Want to take you back to this past Thursday night on SmackDown. Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate, known as New Kent Republic, taking on recent rivals Sheamus and the Scottish Warrior, Drew McIntyre. A grueling fight, but McIntyre and Sheamus standing tall on the other side of the bell, only to be confronted by the WWE Tag Team Champions, Fraxium, who seemingly were calling their shot for their next challengers. And after the confrontation this past Thursday night, we can confirm that coming up 2 weeks from tonight in Glasgow, Scotland, Drew McIntyre and Sheamus will indeed be the next challengers for Axiom and Nathan Frazier's WWE Tag Team Championship. Fraxium meets the Scottish Warrior and the Celtic Warrior 2 weeks from tonight at Clash at the Castle.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is for the WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship.
Well, it is going to be an international battle on international soils at Clash at the Castle for the WWE Tag Team Championship. But the same can be said about our upcoming matchup. It's an international affair over the Intercontinental Championship. The #1 contender tonight, New Zealand's Dakota Kai, one of the hardest strikers in the entire women's locker room, really stepping up to the plate and aiding Lyra Valkyria and vice versa in a recent rivalry against Isla Dawn and Alba Fire, the Unholy Union, but all in the process, Dakota Kai making some waves on Monday Night Raw, and she has earned herself an opportunity to become the Intercontinental Champion. A couple of weeks ago in Paris, France, on Monday Night Raw, Dakota Kai, huge singles victory over the White Witch herself, Isla Dawn. Really, after that, there was no denying that Dakota Kai was next up to challenge Lyra Valkyria herself for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. This should be a great matchup here tonight at Saturday night's main event, already kicking off hot and heavy moments ago. But the action set to continue, courtesy of Monday Night Raw. And you want to talk about making waves. In less than a year on the main roster, Lyra Valkyria is 1 foot at a time, making herself a household name on Raw. Becoming the inaugural Women's Intercontinental Champion back at WrestleMania, taking down a former WWE Women's Champion in Liv Morgan. Lyra has retained that very championship over somebody we just talked about moments ago, the White Witch, Isla Dawn of the Unholy Union. I still think there's some loose ends to tie up with the Union themselves, but Lyra Valkyria awarding this opportunity to Dakota Kai tonight. Dakota proving herself. Lyra Valkyria appreciative of the support. Lyra looking to be a fighting champion, and for the second time since winning the gold, that Intercontinental Championship is going to be on the line. Lyra Valkyria has been ever impressive since her Monday Night Raw debut back in September. She is tangled with some of the best veterans alike that Raw has to offer. Dakota Kai, another world travel veteran herself who has won championships around the globe, looking for her first singles gold here in the WWE. Can she keep down Lyra Valkyria and become the second ever Women's Intercontinental Champion? We are about to find out here in Phoenix.
Introducing the challenger from Auckland, New Zealand, Dakota Kai. And her opponent from Dublin, Ireland, the WWE Women's Intercontinental Champion, Lyra Valkyria.
Both these women geared up and ready for a fight. The Women's Intercontinental Championship be handing over from Lyra Valkyria, possibly for the very last time in her championship reign. Dakota Kai, who has scratched and clawed for every opportunity here in the WWE, really struggled to gain momentum over the last few years, dealt with a couple of nagging injuries, but finally starting to find her footing in 2025. Maybe tonight is where it all pays off. Bell has sounded, we're underway. Dakota Kai, wait a minute. Right out of the gate, going for the small package here on Lyra Valkyria. Dakota trying to become the Intercontinental Champion. Lyra Valkyria has proven it's going to take a lot more to keep her down, especially when the gold's on the line. And we'll look at Lyra here. Anything you can do, I can do better. Quick pinfall by Valkyria as well. Dakota Kai loves to throw those kicks. Lyra Valkyria, no stranger to doing so as well. A reversal for reversal that time. Lyra and Dakota coming for strikes. And man, already, what's this matchup in less than a minute? These two women willing to leave it all inside of the ring tonight in hopes of leaving Phoenix with the Intercontinental Championship. Dakota Kai, the first to be looking up at the lights of Phoenix Arena. Now Lyra Valkyria off the standing moonsault, ever impressive. It'll retain the gold, not just yet. Dakota Kai, as we mentioned just a moment ago, has scratched and clawed for every opportunity. Does not want to see this opportunity slip through her fingers tonight. Here's Dakota letting it all come out. What a several of kicks. About to say a pair, but that was more than just two. Dakota unloading. Ever agile with her feet, ever hard hitting. There you see it firsthand. Pump kick right to Lyra Valkyria. And smart for Dakota right to go to the pinfall. Realizing Lyra might have had her bell rung. And again, Valkyria has proven to be a tough puzzle to figure out. Not even on Monday Night Raw, down in NXT and NXT UK as well. Lyra Valkyria has made her way up the scene here in WWE. No doubt the biggest victory of her career 2 months ago at WrestleMania. Dakota Kai tonight, although all the respect for Lyra, looking to finally spoil that fun. So far, I think she's looking so good. Tit for tat in the opening moments, but Dakota Kai has begun to take over here at Saturday night's main event. It'll be a crowning moment in the career of New Zealand representative Dakota Kai. She takes on the Irish-born Lyra Valkyria. That's what the Intercontinental Championship Women's Division's all about. Dakota Kai now wipe it out, Lyra. And again, Dakota so smart to realize that she's got to go for the pinfalls when she has the opportunity and nearly won the championship. Lyra Valkyria even holding that shoulder off the mat for a couple of seconds. I think she saw her title reign flash before her eyes there. Dakota Kai stacking this offense, and if this continues, a couple of more of those kicks could be a knockout blow, and she could be leaving Phoenix as the champion. Hold on here, around and around she goes, and speaking of the such, kick right to the jaw, and a boot scrape for good measures. Dakota Kai all kinds of fired up. She may have Lyra Valkyria beat here. Wants to add some more insult to injury, wants to ensure that the next pinfall might be the last one to win the title here in Phoenix. Again, Lyra Valkyria able to survive. Well, Dakota cannot allow herself to get frustrated. She is doing a hell of a job working over the champion right now. She's got to keep her foot on the gas and not allow Lyra to get going. Lyra Valkyria, no stranger to leaving the soles of her boots, as we saw that time with the head scissors takedown, followed up with a drop kick. Lyra's got to go high risk, high reward to outmatch Dakota Kai's striking. And you bet she absolutely will do that. Wait a minute now, on the shoulders. Dakota with a counter into the uppercut. Just as you thought Lyra was about to get going, Dakota Kai switching it up. Takedown off the Irish whip, and another kick by Kai. And we did a kick counter in the corner of our screens. Dakota Kai is just letting it loose with those strikes tonight. We'll be nearing her first singles championship here in WWE. Another one. That one connected right on the nose of Lyra Valkyria. Dakota, confidence is rising. Lyra looks beaten over the top. Oh my goodness! Right on the back of the knees. Kai to win the title. But again, Lyra Valkyria able to survive. What an effort by both of these women. The offense by Dakota Kai, the survival instincts of the Intercontinental Champion. Lyra Valkyria has got to get out of the gate. Dakota Kai is a couple of strikes away from leaving Phoenix, Arizona as the Intercontinental Champion. Lyra Valkyria on the apron here. Shot right to the abdominal. Well, Dakota Kai walking right into disaster. Lyra now using her body as a weapon. Has Dakota Kai dealt her best hands in this championship fight? Lyra Valkyria now. Looking to play catch-up German suplex. And you see already, written all over the body language, is the damage of Dakota Kai, Now sent to the outside, Lyra Valkyria, full head of steam, pair of boots. What offense by the champion. Just when you thought Lyra Valkyria was down and out, here she is rising. And what better city to say this in, like a phoenix. There's the discus leg lariat. Will that be a knockout blow on Saturday night? Not just yet. Not just yet. Dakota Kai's chances of leaving Phoenix survive one moment longer. Lyra Valkyria tries for the overhand strike, gets on the second delivery. Dakota trying to play survival. Back on the shoulder she goes, but Dakota clearly having whatever head scissors or Frankenstein or whatever maneuver Lyra Valkyria has, Dakota had it scouted. Oh no, on the shoulders, that could be a knockout blow. Dakota into the cover to win the Intercontinental title. No! Dakota Kai is forcing Lyra Valkyria to wrestle on the defense throughout this matchup. It has been an offensive spectacle by the challenger. Lyra, wait a minute, quick shot to the abdominal. Nightwing, damn near out of nowhere on the challenger. And Lyra Valkyria just catches her in time to retain the gold.
Here is your winner, and still the WWE Women's Intercontinental Champion, Lyra Valkyria.
Well, that was an impressive uphill battle performance by the reigning, defending champion. Lyra Valkyria surviving the best offense from Dakota Kai. Oh, wait a minute. Alba Fire from behind. Kendo stick, repeating history. This is the second time she's left the champion laying with a weapon. Alba Fire has got a bone to pick with Lyra Valkyria and vice versa. We knew there was unfinished business, but after that attack, this rivalry is far from over. Can't get enough Universe mode? Well, now is your chance to secure a backstage pass to more Universe than ever before. Become a Noah Nation Gaming channel member and gain entry to exclusive kickoff shows before each and every premium live event. Also, witness bi-monthly house shows that directly affect your episodic viewing of Universe Mode. Also, take a peek behind the curtain and see how Universe Mode is brought to life each and every week. Hit the join button down below, become a Backstage Pass Noah Nation Gaming channel member, and get your front row seat to more Universe than ever before. What is a better time than any to become a Noah Nation Gaming channel member? Coming up on Saturday night, June 14th from the Honda Center in Anaheim. It is the Noah Nation Gaming channel member exclusive Beach Blast live event. World champion Ilya Dragunov, Roxanne Perez, Seth freaking Rollins, and more already signed. Hit the join button down below. Become a Noah Nation Gaming channel member.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is for the WWE United States Championship.
Well, the action set to roll on here in Phoenix. The United States Championship from SmackDown set to be defended. There is some animosity, some bad blood that is on the line in the midst of this red, white, blue, and gold championship defense. The head of Gallus, Joe Coffey has been headhunting LA Knight since he first got drafted to SmackDown along with the other Gallus boys back in March. Joe Coffey has left LA Knight laying not only in the ring but even in the backstage area on numerous occasions. LA Knight has done his damnedest to try to get some retribution, but he knows inevitably what Joe Coffey wanted, and that was a shot at the United States Championship. Well, now they meet tonight. LA Knight with a chance at some payback. Joe Coffey getting the championship opportunity he so desires. Of course, Mark Coffey and Wolfgang recently challenging Fraxium for the WWE Tag Team titles. That matchup not going the way of Gallus. Hopefully, for Gallus' sake, Joe Coffey can have a different result. But the megastar, LA Knight, has got one thing in mind for Joe Coffey tonight, and that's leaving him laying, knocking him out with a BFT, a Blood Force trauma, and leaving Phoenix with the United States Championship. LA Knight walks to the ring with purpose each and every Thursday night on SmackDown. He won that gold back at WrestleMania, and he ain't looking to let up his grip on the championship anytime soon. He has walked away from retentions of that championship against Trick Williams, against Austin Theory. Joe Coffey now, the next to step up. In the middle of Silicon Valley, the United States Championship is on the line, and our second of three championship matches here at Saturday night's main event. It should be a good one here in a capacity Phoenix, Arizona. Dare I say, one of the biggest matches of Joe Coffey's veteran career against another veteran of the squared circle in LA Knight for one prestigious piece of hardware.
Introducing the challenger from Glasgow, Scotland, weighing in at 248 pounds, Joe Coffey. And his opponent from Los Angeles, California, weighing in at 241 pounds, the WWE United States Champion, LA Knight.
Well, here we go. You know, moments ago we saw a great wrestling matchup between Dakota Kai and Lyra Valkyria, two women who have great respect for each other over the Women's Intercontinental Championship. But I got a feeling the story of this matchup gonna be a little bit different. There ain't no respect between Joe Coffey and LA Knight, just tension and bad blood in a United States Championship that hangs between them. These two men set to wage war, but only one man can leave Phoenix with the United States title. The bell has sounded and we are underway, and immediately LA Knight, living up to our prior words, throwing some haymakers at Joe Coffey. You know, 2 weeks from tonight, we're going to be in Coffey's homeland of Glasgow, Scotland, and I'm sure Joe Coffey would love to walk into that event as the United States champion. He's got an opportunity for an epic homecoming here tonight if he can defeat LA Knight and leave the new United States champion. Joe Coffey, my goodness! Giving LA Knight a fight right back. Closed fist. This is like a bar fight since the opening bell, and now Joe sent over the top rope by the megastar. Well, Coffey's had a lot of big performances in NXT UK and NXT proper here in the States, but Gallus is finding out what it's like to hang with the best of them on SmackDown as of late. LA Knight looking to send Joe Coffey back down to NXT with an emphatic BFT here tonight. Right to the barrier. Not once, but twice by hands. And one fired up megastar. LA Knight not to be disrespected, not to be cheap-shotted. Joe Coffey left him laying in the backstage area the night Gallus arrived on SmackDown. He did so again the following week inside of the ring. A sneak attack on LA Knight. LA Knight has done what he can to get retribution over Joe Coffey. Even when this matchup was set up a couple of weeks ago on SmackDown, they came to blows in the ring as well. LA Knight out for redemption, Coffey out for the gold. Who is going to get their wish here at Saturday night's main event? Joe Coffey bringing LA Knight to his feet. Brutal is this man from Scotland who's looking for a homecoming in 2 weeks' time with the red, white, blue, and gold around his waist. And around goes LA Knight into the pinfall by Coffey, bringing the gold to Gallus, not just yet. LA Knight looking up at the lights of Phoenix Arena, was able to survive the offense by Joe Coffey, but Joe proving why he was able to weasel his way into a championship matchup tonight. That's the physicality he brings to the squared circle, and dare I say, out of it as well. Joe Coffey had some wars with many NXT superstars over several years across multiple NXT brands. Look at the matchup with the ring general Gunther. NXT TakeOver in the United Kingdom several years ago. Gallus had a great rivalry with Imperium over at NXT UK. Joe Coffey and the rest of Gallus now find their home on SmackDown, and will tonight be a banner evening for the group. LA Knight off the air raid crash, looking for victory, not just yet. Physical is what we can use to describe this matchup thus far. LA Knight off the middle rope with a drop kick, lands flush. LA Knight certainly fired up. It's been a great couple of months as the megastar transitioned over from Raw over to SmackDown and won the United States Championship, but will all that success come crashing down by hands of Gallus? Talked about LA Knight's retentions of the gold. Of course, he defeated main event Jey Uso back at WrestleMania in the early part of March. Jey Uso, an incredible United States Championship reign on SmackDown. LA Knight proving he could beat one of the best. Imagine what that could do for Joe Coffey's career if he can come into Phoenix tonight and prove that he can beat LA Knight. LA Knight, another closed fist. We've seen a lot of them thrown throughout this matchup. Here's the megastar unloading again. LA Knight's been thinking about this contest for weeks, thinking about getting his hands on the challenger. Coffey now sent to the outside. LA Knight, wheels are a-spinning. Taking a page out of Lyra Valkyria's book moments ago. Through the ropes and a pair of boots to the challenger. LA Knight feeling confident as Joe Coffey may be dazed and confused on the outside of the ring. Either spoke too soon, reversal that time. Now it's LA Knight who gets sent into the barricade. LA Knight trying to put on the brakes as this fight starts to break down. Remember, Joe Coffey can only win the championship inside of the ring tonight. LA Knight technically has the championship advantage here. Referee at a count of 6. All the while, Joe Coffey gets sent right to the announce table. And now his head bouncing right off the cover of the table. Referee's getting close here. Count of 9. Wait a minute. You gotta get this matchup back inside the ring. Count of 10. Oh, this matchup's going to a draw. It has been ruled a double count out as the fight breaking down at ringside between LA Knight and Joe Coffey. The referee had no choice. These two men and the physicality that has developed between them on recent weeks on SmackDown comes to this. Well, Joe Coffey obviously not going to win the United States Championship. LA Knight going to leave here. Leave Phoenix with the red, white, blue, and gold, but these two men are still going at it. The bell has sounded, but the brawl continues. Oh, now LA Knight sent emphatically right to the barricade. We need somebody out here to fix up the LED screen on that. These two men and that bad blood that has only been brewing week in and week out on Thursday nights. We thought we were going to get a conclusion, but clearly nothing has been settled. I don't think the referee or anybody wants to get between Joe Coffey and LA Knight right now. And Coffey again now setting the barricade, and LA Knight giving the fight right back to him. LA Knight came to Phoenix for retribution. Hell, if he leaves Joe Coffey laying and technically leaves the United States Championship, I guess it can be considered a wash for the megastar. Joe Coffey now. Oh my goodness, leveling LA Knight with that discus clothesline we have seen him use to great perfection on SmackDown. He's knocked out Trick Williams, he's knocked out Apollo Crews. Gallus has left the LWO laying with that maneuver. And now Coffey with a steel chair right to the rib cage. of the United States champion. Oh, that discus lariat might have been a difference maker. LA Knight may be out cold or at least near it. Kofi's got another steel chair. Oh no, I don't like this for the United States champion. Joe Kofi out to make a statement and out to take a pound of LA Knight's flesh with him if he ain't gonna leave as the United States champion. This thing breaking down into a war here in Phoenix. Well, it has been an awesome night thus far here in Silicon Valley. We are live in Phoenix for Saturday night's main event. 2 weeks from tonight, we head to Glasgow, Scotland for Clash at the Castle. What an event it is going to be. 2 weeks from now, overseas. We want to remind you, along with Noah Nation Gaming channel memberships, new merchandise available now. Scan the QR code on your screen. Head over to the Noah Nation shop. Pick yourself up some merchandise on the way out of Saturday night's main event tonight. We are live inside Phoenix Arena, and it is time for the Women's Tag Team Championship to be decided. Of course, a championship that goes across all brands in WWE, but tonight it is 4 Monday Night Raw superstars that step inside the ring. The irresistible force, Nia Jax, has got herself a recent former WWE Women's Champion as a tag team partner. You can call them the Beauty and the Beast, but what you could also call them is effective as of late on Monday Night Raw. Tiffany Stratton, hot off the heels of a reign as WWE Women's Champion, and a couple of weeks ago she may have fallen short in her rematch against Rhea Ripley at Backlash to get back the gold. But Tiffany Stratton, what she has done successfully lately, has turned away both Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill in singles competition. Remember, it was Nia Jax who ambushed Bianca Belair at ringside. Her and Tiffany Stratton kind of working together last month at a pick your poison between Stratton and Rhea, and ultimately what it has developed to is Stratton and Nia finding themselves engulfed in a little bit of a rivalry with the tag team champions. Nia Jax keeping down Bianca Belair a couple of weeks ago in Paris on Raw as well. Well, Nia Jax and Tiffany Stratton may have gotten the job done recently in singles competition, but it is in tag team competition where Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill have proven they can thrive in such a short amount of time. It was 2 months ago at WrestleMania where Bianca and Jade came together to keep down common enemies in Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez to win the Women's Tag Team Championship. Bianca and Jade have ran into nothing but trouble since then in Tiffany Stratton and Nia Jax, and now for the first time since Philadelphia back in March, those tag team championships are set to be defended. Tiffany Stratton and Nia Jax have proven they can keep down Bianca and Jade, a viable threat to the gold, but Bianca and Cargill have thrived sooner than a lot of people will ever give them credit for. A storm is making its way through the desert. In the middle of the Valley of the Sun, a woman that is a picture-perfect superstar making her way down the aisle in the middle of the spotlight where she belongs. You want to talk about making an impact in such a short amount of time. since her Monday Night Raw and WWE entirely debut back in October, Jade Cargill has proven to be a problem. Jade, Roxanne Perez, several of other superstars. Liv Morgan had entangled Jade Cargill on a couple of occasions on Monday Night Raw. Everybody has found it out. What a lot of people continue to find out, such as Tiffany, Stratton, and Nia Jax, is that Jade Cargill, a tough puzzle to figure out. Well, Stratton and Nia have pulled the rug out from underneath the tag team champions' feet in recent weeks. But it is all about the tag team competition. It is about the gold that is around the waist of Jade and Bianca, Cargill and Belair. They may be a new team in the division, but they have proven to be a success. Stratton and Nia, another new team who have gotten it done in singles competition, but can they prove to be a success when the tag team championship is on the line? Let's send things down to Alicia Taylor for your official match introductions.
The following contest is a tag team match scheduled for one fall and is for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship. Introducing the challengers, the team of Nia Jax and Tiffany Stratton. And their opponents, the team of Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill.
Well, here we go with this Women's Tag Team Championship match set to continue us forward here. The co-main event of Saturday night's main event from Phoenix. That is the prize that is on the line. Bianca and Jade won the gold back at WrestleMania. This is their first defense since that night in Lincoln Financial Field. Will Nia Jax and Tiffany Stratton prove once again to continue to be a problem for Belair and Cargill, or will the champions be able to turn away the challengers here at Silicon Valley? Bianca and Nia Jax kicking off this matchup, picking up right where they left off just a couple of weeks ago in Paris on Monday Night Raw. Big victory for Nia Jax on that night, keeping down the EST, Bianca Belair. Nia Jax, who returned to WWE back in January at the Royal Rumble, has really struggled to find success, but ever since aligning herself with Tiffany on Raw and keeping down Bianca a few weeks ago, I think Jax is really starting to put the pieces together and find herself once again inside of that ring. They don't call her the irresistible force for nothing. Bianca finding out firsthand why Nia is such a viable threat, not only in this tag team scenario, but standing on her own as well. Nia Jax, former women's champion, somebody who has wrestled across all brands here in WWE. Now tagging in her recent running buddy in Tiffany Stratton, who as well has defeated Bianca Belair in recent memory on Monday Night Raw. Stratton and Bianca, no strangers to each other. They've had a handful of singles matches in the past. Tonight, the first time they clash over championship gold, or I should say the second time they clash over championship gold. First time came back at Survivor Series in November. Tiffany Stratton defeated Bianca Belair to kick off her WWE Women's Championship reign. Of course, Bianca Belair was in the midst of a rivalry with Jade at that point in time. That certainly did not aid Bianca, going all the way back to November. Different story here in Phoenix tonight. And off that military press moonsault combination by Bianca, she nearly had Stratton beat. Sent in the corner she goes. Tag made to Jade Cargill. Cargill, I'm sure, itching to get her hands on Tiffany after Stratton pinned her shoulders several weeks back on Monday Night Raw. Jade Cargill, the chosen participant in that pick your poison between Tiffany and Rhea. That was a week after Stratton had gotten the victory over Bianca in Bianca's hometown of Knoxville. Tag team champions with something to prove tonight. Prove that they can beat Tiffany Stratton. Prove that Nia Jax isn't as big of a threat as she believes she is. And prove that WrestleMania wasn't a fluke. We'll see if the champions can get the job done on the other side of the bell. So far, the challengers have had their number in the lead up to Phoenix tonight. Tiffany Stratton not allowing Cargill to get going. Tiffany Stratton has had a great run going back from last summer all the way till now. Inaugural Queen of the Ring tournament winner. As we mentioned, beating Bianca Belair for the WWE Women's Championship last November at Survivor Series. Retained that title, what many would call a dream match against Charlotte Flair. Oh, a cheap shot on Bianca that time. Tiffany Stratton showing you one of the reasons why she's been so successful. Nonetheless, Tiffany Stratton's Women's Championship reign came crashing down at WrestleMania. She failed to win her rematch against Rhea Ripley at Backlash last month. But you gotta give the devil her due. Tiffany Stratton, in quick fashion, has found herself back in championship conversations along with Nia. Off the tandem offense here, Nia Jax starting to completely take over. Jade Cargill came in, tried to be a house of fire, and boy did Stratton and Nia ever extinguish that fire. Nia Jax now muscling up Cargill. Samoan drop. Let us not forget where Nia Jax comes from, a member of the Anoa'i family, destructive as all hell for a reason. Cut from literally a different cloth, built completely different than most. Oh, now wait a minute, Bianca's already knocked off the apron a moment ago by Tiffany, and now Nia with a cheap shot. Well, that may have allowed Jade Cargill, however, a moment to get back into this matchup, or maybe we spoke too soon. Jade and Bianca may be in their own heads. Bianca Belair pinned by Nia Jax. The last time these women encountered on Monday Night Raw, Tiffany Stratton has beaten both of the tag team champions in recent memory. Champions may feel like they're underdogs tonight. Tiffany Stratton and Nia Jax very well may have already won the mental game leading up to Phoenix. Tiffany Stratton tagged in now on the middle rope. Stratton, one of the most agile superstars in the women's division. Olympic level gymnast, and now the crossbody off the top takes down a woman who by the visual test is a bona fide superstar. Oh, there's Cargill, making Stratton pay for not electing to go for the cover, and a spear cutting Stratton in half. And Cargill, however, gonna go for the pinfall. Gonna take a lot more to keep down a former women's champion. Jade Cargill now sending Bianca Belair, or I should say sending Tiffany Stratton into enemy territory, into the waiting arms of Bianca Belair. Tag made of the EST. Bianca all kinds of fired up. There's a spine buster. Bianca Belair now looking to get the champions going. Majority of this matchup has been contested under one-way traffic. The champions gotta find a lane to shift into here. Oh, and just when it looked like Bianca was gonna get going, Stratton with the knees up. Stratton now. Alabama slam to the EST. To win the titles, Jade Cargill breaking things up. Always risky business as the illegal competitor breaking up the pinfall. You don't want to do it too many times, risk disqualification, but Jade realizing that the championships nearly left their grasp there as Stratton was able to muscle down Bianca Belair, and Nia Jax nearly squashed Bianca like a bug in the corner. Luckily, the EST with enough speed to get out of the way. Nia Jax now the one in the corner. Bianca Belair, full head of steam, throwing all her body weight behind that shoulder block, making a deuce. Nia now trapped in the corner of Bianca Belair once again has found daylight for the champions. Bianca and Jade may feel like they're fighting an uphill battle, but if they can somehow, someway survive the challengers, what a feather in the cap this will be. Tag made to Cargill once again. Nia Jax able to dodge that shot by Cargill. Jade obviously the most inexperienced out of everybody in this ring. Nia Jax showing her that, exposing her, dodging her shot and making Cargill pay the consequences. And now another cheap shot, knocking Bianca Belair off the apron. But again, Nia might have got overzealous. Jade Cargill sending Nia Jax right to the post. Jade Cargill now trying to get her wits about her. Nia off the reversal. And just when you thought Cargill had her, on the shoulders again. Military press into the slam. Jade Cargill struggling, but she is in the ring with Nia Jax here tonight. Jax now full head of steam, dropping the leg right on one half of the champions. Go for the cover, Bianca Belair right there to ensure a 3 count won't be made. Another tag made to Tiffany Stratton. Will the Buff Bar be the center of the universe? Oh, she went for the cheap shot that time. Bianca had it scouted, however. Well, finally, the champion's able to dodge a proverbial low blow by the challengers, and now Jade Cargill on the offense. Splash in the corner. She's got Stratton looking up at the lights of Phoenix Arena. Bianca Belair now, the veteran of the team, coming in. Goes behind. Stratton off her feet. Face first on the canvas. To retain the women's tag team titles, Nia Jax breaking it up just in time. Stratton might have had her bell wrong. Bianca now hits the splash, or I should say doesn't hit the splash she wanted to earlier. Stratton got the knees up. Stratton had it scouted again. The challengers are on their A game tonight. And Bianca Belair, once again, the rally gets cut short. And Jade Cargill gets knocked off the apron. The challengers doing all they can to contest the champions, divide and conquer. Oh, Bianca! Giving her a taste of her own medicine. Just knocked Nia Jax off the apron. And the champions need a Hail Mary here, and I think Bianca's gonna go for it. KOD, and it delivers. Bianca into the cover on Tiffany Stratton. The champions just narrowly retain the titles.
Here are your winners, and still the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, the team of Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair.
That was an uphill battle if I ever saw one. Nia and Tiffany Stratton brought their A games, but Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair fighting their damnedest and retaining the gold here in Phoenix. After the dust has settled at Backlash, the road only gets rougher. The journey takes us across the sea to a land of warriors, a country of legends. This is Scotland, the heart of the Highlands, and live from the OVO Hydro Arena in Glasgow, WWE brings the fight to the proud and passionate fans of the North. In a place where every echo feels like thunder, and every battle feels like war. Titles will be defended, scores will be settled, and history will be written in stone. The stars are coming, the stakes are rising, and when the clash begins, only the strong will survive. Live from the pride of Scotland, this is Clash at the Castle. Well, 2 weeks from tonight, we are heading to the OVO Hydro in Glasgow, Scotland. Saturday night, May 31st, 5 p.m. Eastern Time for Clash at the Castle. One of the matches we can officially confirm for Scotland. Piper Niven has been headhunting the Kabuki Warriors on SmackDown and most recently took out Io Sky this past Thursday. Well, Io not going to stand for it. And a shot at the gold is what Piper Niven wants. It's what she's going to get. Io Piper for the women's world title. And speaking of SmackDown, this past Thursday night, of course, we saw Finn Balor punch his ticket, winning the triple threat matchup. And he will meet the man Dragon, Ilya Dragunov, for the World Heavyweight Championship in Scotland at Clash at the Castle. But who will meet Braun Breaker? for the WWE Championship. We find out in your main event right here, right now, in the Valley of the Sun.
The following contest is a triple threat match. Making his way to the ring from St. Louis, Missouri, weighing in at 295 pounds, the Viper, Randy Orton.
Well, what a grand opportunity that has developed in the midst of turmoil between these three Monday Night Raw superstars. The Apex Predator Randy Orton felt he had unfinished business with the ring general Gunther, dating back to SmackDown several months ago. Orton wanted to get his hands on Gunther. They finally went one-on-one in the final Monday Night Raw before Backlash. The match going to a double countout, but Gunther leaving Randy Orton laying on that night. Meanwhile, the Second City Saint CM Punk has embarrassed Gunther. Those are his words on more than one occasion, knocking him out the ring, making him look like a fool. Gunther wants to get his hands on CM Punk. Punk's had enough of the ring general shenanigans. Those two want to go at it. Orton still wants to drop Gunther with an RKO. And now in the midst of it all, a WWE Championship opportunity will be presented to the last man standing here at Saturday night's main event. What is an all-star lineup? It is a triple threat matchup that headlines here in Phoenix. 2 weeks from tonight, the winner gets Bron Breakker for the undisputed title. And here comes one of the most dominant champions in SmackDown history, who is looking to write new history on Raw.
And his opponents, first, representing Imperium from Vienna, Austria, weighing in at 250 pounds.
For 275 days on SmackDown, the ring general was the World Heavyweight Champion. Turned away challenges from Hall of Famers like the Rated R Superstar Edge, future Hall of Famers like Roman Reigns, your current World Heavyweight Champion Ilya Dragunov even falling to Gunther last summer. The ring general made a statement, etched his name in the annals of history. But now a member of the Monday Night Raw roster since the draft 2 months ago, and he's got one thing on his mind: silencing Randy Orton, dominating CM Punk, and marching right into Scotland, putting down Bron Breakker, and becoming the undisputed WWE Champion. Easier said than done when Orton and Punk are standing in his way. And no man in this matchup knows Bron Breakker quite like this individual. The man Bron Breakker defeated back in December when he cashed in Money in the Bank and won the WWE title. And most recently, the man that Bron Breakker defeated in the main event of WrestleMania. CM Punk may have an issue with Gunther, but you gotta believe Punk is itching to get another round for the undisputed WWE Championship.
And from Chicago, Illinois, weighing in at 218 pounds,
CM Punk has had some success in 2025. He won the Elimination Chamber matchup, even defeated Randy Orton in the midst of that matchup. But CM Punk falling short 2 months ago at WrestleMania in an incredible main event against Bron Breakker. All the while he has been dealing with this issue with Gunther. You gotta believe in the back of his mind he's been daydreaming, maybe even having nightmares about getting another round for the WWE Championship. You want to talk about Gunther's 275-day World Championship reign? Well, at one point in time, CM Punk held the WWE Championship for 434 consecutive days. If Punk has his way, he'll beat Bron Breakker. He'll double that, and he'll etch his name in stone as one of the greatest champions of all time. What is an all-star triple threat matchup coming your way courtesy of Monday Night Raw? The bell has sounded. We are underway. CM Punk going directly after Gunther. The winner of this matchup moves on to Scotland 2 weeks from tonight to challenge Bron Breakker for the WWE Championship. Only been a handful of times that Gunther has been in the ring with both of these individuals. CM Punk and Gunther clashing in the midst of the Royal Rumble matchup in January. Tag team matchup a couple of months ago on Raw. And now here again tonight they meet in the midst of this triple threat matchup. Nearly the same can be said about Orton and Gunther. Only a handful of affairs, but Gunther has defeated Randy Orton in singles action going back to the month of February. Dare I say, it looks like CM Punk and Orton are all focused on the ring general at the given moment, but Gunther has no problem trying to fend off both of these superstars. Gunther's used to being the target. You don't sit atop SmackDown as World Heavyweight Champion for as long as he did if you're not able to fend off a challenge or two. Look at Orton leaving Punk wide open there for Gunther. Well, CM Punk and Randy Orton, how they teamed up and took down Gunther and Ludwig Kaiser several weeks back on Monday Night Raw. They've even saved each other from a couple of ass kickings by Imperium. Sure, a great respect between those two future Hall of Famers, but tonight it's all about becoming the #1 contender for the WWE Championship. On off the drop kick, now Randy Orton gonna target CM Punk, every man for himself in a triple threat. Talk about high stakes, high reward here in Phoenix, Arizona tonight. Randy Orton and CM Punk both competed not too far from here in Glendale, WrestleMania 26 back in 2010. Orton was victorious on that night. Maybe in similar surroundings, Randy Orton will find himself victorious again. CM Punk neckbreaker on Orton. He seems to be focusing on Gunther. It almost seems as if Orton and Punk just want to get through each other so they can focus on Gunther, so they can defeat that rival, and also stick it to the ring general, all in the midst of trying to become #1 contender. Those two men better not get... Oh my goodness, did you see the lariat by Gunther? Absolutely leveled CM Punk into the cover. Nearly defeated CM Punk that time, but he turned him inside out with that clothesline. Oh, now try to go Boston Crab here. Randy Orton breaking things up. The ring general's got no time to waste. I don't even remember the topic of discussion that we were referring to, because Randy Orton, or I should say Gunther, nearly put this match away. And now Randy Orton focusing on Gunther. I believe the point we were going to make is Orton and Punk cannot be too obsessed to try to keep down a recent rival in the ring general. They got to focus on the task at hand, which is the #1 contendership. With Gunther rolling out the ring momentarily, Orton, CM Punk surveying the scene and saying, okay, now it's time for us to go at it. Orton and CM Punk, no strangers to each other either. Faced off at WrestleMania several years ago. Randy Orton now got Punk in position for a vintage elevated DDT. Oh! Well, Gunther coming in with that steel chair. Gunther not afraid to use the rules to his advantage if it's going to reward him a WWE title match against Bron Breakker. Orton unable to capitalize on that DDT to Punk thanks to that X Factor, that third man in the triple threat that is Gunther in this scenario. Remember just a couple of months ago, Gunther competed in a triple threat matchup against Drew McIntyre and John Cena. Wasn't the one pinned on that night. Is familiar with these chaotic surroundings in recent memory. Punk now on the top and coming down with that Macho Man-esque elbow. CM Punk in quick fashion finding himself in a predicament to try to win this matchup, but the ring general's still alive, and now Randy Orton hot on the scene. Oh, and now Orton all over a wounded ring general. Triple threat match is not for the weak in heart. Maybe no more physical a contest than one where you can get knocked out without even having to have eyes in the back of your head. Talked about it on SmackDown when Finn Balor contested against Cody Rhodes and Karrion Kross for the #1 contendership for the world title. So hard to get sustained momentum in a match like this. Just when you think you got your opponent beaten, here comes the other one, cracking you in the back of the dome. Similar to what we just saw right there. Orton takes out Gunther, CM Punk takes out Orton, and now Punk sending Gunther into the ropes. Takes him down with the neck breaker. Orton right there. Orton once again pulling out a vintage maneuver in his arsenal. Scoop and a slam. All three of these men throwing some of their best maneuvers since the opening bell. Down goes CM Punk. Gunther, Uranagi. Any more aggressive, they want to crack the canvas. Randy Orton trying his damnedest to be emphatic, trying to show Gunther it's going to take a lot more, but only so many times you can turn away Gunther like that. During his World Championship reign, he earned the nickname of the Final Boss for a reason on SmackDown. Wait a minute, CM Punk from behind. Schoolboy nearly becoming the #1 contender. CM Punk now unloading. One of the most dominant champions in SmackDown history. Gunther to the outside. Orton and Punk once again surveying the scene. But this is what we're talking about. They could not become obsessed with trying to keep down Gunther just because he's been a thorn in their side. Oh, it looked like Punk was looking to go high risk, high reward. Punk now going for the crossbody. Gunther got out of the way. Crash and burn for the Second City Saint. However, Gunther comes into the ring and immediately gets checked by the Apex Predator. And CM Punk might have costed himself that time. Orton and Punk not looking to rush into offense when they realize possibly the biggest target of this matchup currently stands between them. Already Orton now. Shot to Punk. Oh, Punk with a shot to Orton. Haymaker takes down Orton. Punk bringing Gunther to his feet. Wait a minute here. GTS on the ring general. Oh, I don't think Punk realized that Orton got back to the soles of his boots. This may have been over if Randy Orton wasn't in this matchup. Well, Gunther's only been pinned a handful of times throughout his WWE career. CM Punk might have just did what very few have done if it weren't for the Apex Predator. Oh, hold on here. Gunther now. Powerbomb to Orton. Oh, I think CM Punk was trying to get to Gunther and the referee was in his way. Well, either way, it broke up the pinfall. All three of these men throwing their best shots in this contest. Gunther, story as old as time, ruling the ring. Look to be going for the last symphony. Hold on here, CM Punk's going back to the well. Second GTS on the ring general. Hold on now. Orton with an RKO. Punk had his back turned. The Viper coiled and strikes. Orton is going to Scotland.
Here is your winner, the Viper, Randy Orton.
CM Punk took out Gunther with not one but ultimately two GTS, but he left himself wide open for the Viper to strike. And one emphatic RKO later, Randy Orton is #1 contender. Well, Randy Orton starting to reclimb the ladder of success. And he may take his spot at the top of the kingdom at Clash at the Castle when Randy Orton goes one-on-one with the unpredictable badass Bron Breakker for the undisputed WWE Championship. What a match that is gonna be. And Bron Breakker is here in Phoenix. And it looks like the WWE Champion is coming to get a closer look at what awaits 2 weeks from tonight. Oh man, well these two men have only met a handful of times. I believe only one other singles match between the two, one that Bron Breakker had won. Oh, but come Scotland, it's a completely different story. Randy Orton's gunning for the WWE Championship. Braun Breaker hungry to keep his spot at the top. These two men meet 2 weeks from tonight at Clash at the Castle.